Okay, so like DeFi, when we just talk about DeFi, right? And like we're kind of going into this like I do want to like explore this angle because like I know you guys have a lot of on-chain data, and like you guys do like a lot of research on that. And you know, I think a lot of with DeFi is what I kind of felt using DeFi as well as you know talking to some of these guys is that first it's like it's the security is a big issue. It's like a little bit haphazard in terms of like how it's built out and like what's secure, what's not. We've seen all these like you know bridges and you know different you know vaults and whatnot just getting all hacked, right? Obviously, there's like a big blue chips like Curve and some of these other guys that are able to kind of stand, you know, test amount of time off a Curve and I don't know Compound, but there's very few, right? And I think security is a big issue in DeFi. Also, I think because of security, also I don't think because of security, like there's obviously like you know, I think that leads to a lot of like issues like liquidity and user base that basically kind of like creates like a secondary um, limit or barrier in terms of opportunities. So I think that you know those kind of things combined with like everything else like you know, like lack of, you know, like options, for example, like options are always traded better on like CeFi. There's more liquidity there. People are more comfortable, you know, putting it there. Things like, you know, like even like we talked about trading numbers, how expensive it is to trade on DeFi. So like, I don't know, like I just feel like DeFi is just a little more, it's clunky, it's a little haphazard, and unless like every you know shitcoin you're touching is you know mooning to like 50x, you know 100x, often the risk and the cost is not really worth it. So I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Yeah, we were talking about this in person the other day, right? That there's a lot of things that you would like to be able to earn some safe yield, but you don't feel comfortable enough with a lot of these products. And I think a lot of things are too complex for you to audit yourself if you don't have enough time, right? I think when you're an honest builder inside crypto, it's actually really hard to have enough time to sit down, review every contract that you touch, so on and so forth, and practice as clean of a operational and security kind of process. So it is something that I think it's not easy to be able to do. And I do think that, if we are able to build more infrastructure to help bridge that gap, I think we've talked a lot about different things like social recovery for wallets. I think our team, I guess maybe I'll leak some of the first alpha that, to be honest, I still don't even know how we can really monetize, but we have some flows that help connect something between having like 2FA be added to even you accessing wallets or other like decentralized pieces. Like a lot of what we're thinking about is fundamentally what can we do to really get away from this type of like binary outlook towards life of centralized and decentralized platforms and try and see what we can learn from the scale that we saw at Binance, as well as the, maybe I think safer ways of having more control be given to the end user and less trust being placed into the platforms that we interact with.
Okay, okay. I think yeah, like also, I think we're gonna have a CPI print coming up soon here, so I think this space is gonna get pretty fun. I think the market's starting to move a little bit. So I think it's a good transition. I